I'm going to make a start on the Titanic diorama. Now, of course, this is going to be a wreck, same as Britannic. Going to make it as accurate to the real thing as possible. Which means we're going to have to basically destroy the ship. Now, some people do it, I've seen some people do this wreck as, you know, the day or day after it went down, so it's still got the colours and everything. I'm not. I'm going to be doing it as of 2012. I don't really know the last time they went down. I know they went down in 2012 because that was the 100 years anniversary. I'm sure they went down. I'll have to check that. I remember some of it. I haven't kept track on it for a while now. But of course, Titanic split in half. The stern section went one way, the bow section went another. And what I'm going to do, we're only going to be modelling the bow section. So the stern section, it's not going to be chucked away, it's going to be kept because I am thinking of doing a diorama of the actual stern section sinking. Like stuck up halfway in the air, which means I've got to do a lot of painting on it and everything. But that's for another day. For this diorama, we're only going to be focusing on the bow section. So what do we need? Well, we need a Titanic Wreck. Now, if you saw the sinking video, you would have seen this one sinking in the bath a couple of days ago. So this is a Academy 1/400th scale Titanic. I had this back in 2012, and it's the first actual kit I've built, more or less finished. When I was younger, didn't really have kits. I always had my model railways and everything. And I wanted to try a kit out, so I bought this one, a Titanic. It was a great kit at the time. I was new to it. There's loads and loads of mistakes on it, endless mistakes. But I didn't really put too much time into it. I rushed it and that. There's loads of errors with it. Some of them we will have to correct for the wreck. And some of them we can just leave because they're going to be destroyed anyway. And you'll see there's no rigging, no rope all over the place, which is one thing I don't like doing at the best of times anyway. And that's pretty much where this one stopped. So, let's start with, well, we need a piece of board. Now, fortunately, I do have a piece of board left over from another diorama. This was actually going to be a lay-by for 1/12 scale model bikes, but I'm not doing that anytime soon, so I'm going to use it for this diorama. Now, Titanic is kind of like a banana shape now on the ocean floor. The bow section's dug in like that, and then it curves around like that, so where the ship hit the floor like that, the ocean floor, and then it probably went forward so much and then come down, and all the decks collapsed on itself and everything. Pretty much what you see today on the wreck. And the ship was discovered in 1986, I believe. One thing that's missing from this are the anchors. Now, I do have the original box, so that's not a problem. And there's oars either side. So, what we got to do in this video is cut it in half. That is the first thing. Titanic split, I believe, down this area here, where one of the expansion joints are. So we're going to have to cut it down there. Now, I'm not too sure I'm going to cut this one yet. I do have a few options, so we'll see. With the Britannic, it was a smaller kit. I just got snips and cut the front off and cut the bow, and we was done, basically. So, yeah, we'll try. We got some options, I suppose. What I'm going to do first then is get that cut. So I'm going to have to pop down the garage and get some equipment. But yeah, let's get started. Wow, good news. I got a, what do you call it, like a junior saw, and just cut straight down where, you know, I need to. And I don't know how I can see that. See, there's a break. So hopefully, I don't really know what's holding it on. So if I give it a twist. There's something still connected there. And I couldn't get much more of an angle on the wreck. 1 second. I'm just going to take a picture of this. I take pictures of all my projects, and I haven't took a picture of this one yet, so there we go. I did damage the one propeller on the back, on the one side, so I have got the blade, and I can just fix that, but there we go. Oh, it's really holding on now. There we go. Right, stern section, bow section, and yeah, it actually come apart a lot easier than I thought. I must have put them in. Just get some of the mess out of the way. So there we go. That is stage 1 complete. Because I was dreading that, to be honest. Now, what I gotta find out is, I'm sure people have seen the wreck of Titanic. One of the expansion points is across here, roughly, and it's nearly an half again across here, because the expansion point, when it dug in like that, it went down and it stretched apart, leaving a massive gap, like a canyon in the ship. So I got to figure out where that is, but after doing what I've done with this section, cutting here, I'm not too worried about it. Now, of course, the chimney's got to come off, so these ropes all got to be cut. So what I shall do is go and get scissors and do that. Just give you a closer look. There we go. So this is a 1/14 scale Titanic. You can see inside there, you can see the floors. Well, they only give you one layer of floors, but I can't wait for the trumpeter kit. Of course, I'm not going to do this with the trumpeter kit. The trumpeter kit is going to be a 1/200th full scale detailed model. I'm going to do a lot of work to that. I shouldn't say 4 scale, because it's not 4 scale. If it's 4 scale, I wouldn't have nowhere to put it. Right, got some scissors, just a small pair. I use these for cutting usually card kits out, or if I need some card for something. So what we're going to do is just cut these ropes around the chimneys. There we go. Doing this, I'm not thinking why am I doing this to this model, because like I've mentioned in the beginning, this is my first go at it. It was nice, it was okay. I do have another 1/400th scale coming to build, but I want to get it right, so I'm happy to do this. I can do something with this now. I really want to build a wreck, and there was no point me spending, I don't know, 30-50 quid for another 1/400th scale just to turn into a wreck. I'm happier doing it like this, scrapping one of my older ones. Right, these chimneys, I'm not too sure they come off. The interesting thing is, what glue have I used for this kit? Most of it would have been, I would say, Humble or Raval. I can't remember, to be honest, can't remember the names. See, it's bringing the old deck up, and I don't want the old deck. There we go. Yeah, see, I basically damaged the deck there, and I don't want to be doing that, so I'll try and salvage what I can for this chimney, because I can still stick that back in place. Of course, it doesn't really matter if there's gaps in that, because it's a wreck. As for the ropes, I'm going to have to get something a little bit smaller to get in there. Let's just see. See, that chimney's not quite tight as well. I use really good glue, it turns out. So yeah, I'll have to... One of them, I bet it's on the stern now. One of them was a little loose when I was messing with it the other day, sinking it and that. But yeah, like I said, I don't want to rip this all up. And actually, no, that probably ain't a bad idea if this all comes up, because I got to destroy the bridge, haven't I? So yeah, let's take it all up. Hopefully I don't want to. I don't know if I snap it, I suppose, because like I said, the bridge is going to be... This is basically a scrapyard at the moment for the Titanic. But there we go. So I can re-stick that, that's not a problem. And it means I can really get into the bridge here and mess that up. Cutting those ropes, how close can I Yeah, I'm better off getting the smaller scissors and getting in there properly. We'll have a third chimney come up. Now that's going to be an interesting thought with this one. I got to figure out how much of this has got to be destroyed on the back here. Like this part. And of course you can see the boilers on the wreck. So I'm going to have to build them. I have a few ideas how I'm going to do it. So we have that. Let's move the stone section. We don't need that in shot. Like I said, that's going to be put away for another day. The glue I used must have been brilliant. But yeah, anyway, that's pretty much what we can do for now. So I'm going to have a look at the second expansion point. There's a second one now, but I'm not sure if it's farther down this way or not. And I'm going to have to mark it because it's not going to go down the old wreck. Well, we'll have a look in the pictures, I suppose. Yeah. This is where it would have been easier using a new kit, but I just don't want to do that. I'd rather do it with this one and build a brand new one. But anyway, that's what we can do today. So we've cut the ship. Titanic is now in 2 pieces as of the real thing. I'll get rid of the third chimney in part 2. The cranes on the front here got to be moved as well. Thought my phone was going off then. The mast have come down and crushed the bridge as well. So yeah, that's where we've got to. We'll get a lot more done, I promise you, in part 2. And I'm going to have a look at some things off camera just to see how I can do it. But I won't do it until, of course, I start filming for part 2. But there we go. A lot of people have been looking forward to this one. I've had a lot of questions. What's your next wreck? Are you doing Titanic and that? Yes. I'm not stopping now. I'm not giving up. I also got to figure out how I'm going to... Is it this side? There's a massive rip. There might be a rip the other side as well. So that's things we got to look at. I might do that with melting it with the soldering iron or something. But this is all stuff we can have a look at later on. So I want to thank you all for watching, thank you all for new subscribers, and I can't wait to get filming part 2.